Hey, what's up? It's me, Jessica Jane. I was just wondering if you've ever sat and thought to yourself, Jessica, how do I make her repulsed by me? And what can I do about it if I do? Well, if so, I'm glad you asked, because that's exactly what I'm going to go over today. Exactly. And to make sure you never miss out on another opportunity to hear these ways that you're unknowingly putting off women in a very extreme way, or another one of my videos, don't forget to hit that subscribe button with the notification bell. Okay, there's 7 of these. Let's get started. The first one is by placating and submitting. Too many guys bend over backwards for women, will do whatever they fucking want, say whatever they tell them to say, do whatever they want them to do. Yes, ma'am, whatever you want, anything you want, blah. But this is actually extremely off-putting to us women. We women follow your lead when it comes to romance and sexual desires. There's nothing wrong with it. It doesn't mean you're better than us, we're better than you. No, it's like in a dance. Somebody's got to lead the dance, and then that somebody has to follow. When I first started doing ballroom dancing, I used to always lead because I had issues, control issues and shit. And my male partners would always say, this is never gonna fucking work with both of us leading. And sure enough, I learned to follow along like a good girl, and the dances went smoothly. And that's exactly what will happen for you if you stop relinquishing all control and giving it all to her, and instead stand up for yourself and do what you want and say what you fucking want. And if she has a problem with it, she could kick rocks. Which then brings me to number 2, which I already talked about, which is agreeing with everything she says. Anytime you're a guy who can't have his own personal opinion, or is like, oh yeah, me too, or if you're someone who's like, I don't really like Game of Thrones, and she's like, oh my god, really? I love it. And then you're like, well, actually, I like it. I do like it. Like, bro, have a spine. Be different. You can differentiate yourself from us. You don't need to constantly be in agreement with us. Constantly being in agreement with us is like acting like a little kid. We want men. Little kids are the ones who are like, okay, sure, follow the rules. Say what you say to say. No, we don't want little boys. We want grown-ass men. And grown-ass men don't agree with everything a grown-ass woman says. It's just almost impossible to. Now, the third one, we're gonna shift gears a little bit. The third way to repulse her is by talking about yourself constantly. I tend to attract men like this because I'm actually extremely introverted. So I have, over the years, always attracted people who talk so much more. In essence, I tend to feel more relaxed with, friends or partners who carry the conversations. But usually, throughout the years, it has been self-absorbed people who want to talk only about themselves non-fucking stop are the people who do this all the time. I've had so many guys I've gone on dates with completely blown away by the fact that I didn't feel chemistry when they thought we had so many sparks going. And really, it's just that I know how to take a hit when it comes to somebody talking at me about himself non-stop. Just because I'm agreeing and asking more questions about him because it's so clear he only wants to talk about him, they thought we had sparks because I was engaged in the conversation. But I would soon learn that anytime they tried asking me a question about me, they'd immediately turn it on to them, or they'd say things like, well, what about you? You haven't said anything about yourself. And then I will say something like, well, you haven't asked me anything. And they'll still continue to talk about themselves. Being that self-absorbed is extremely repulsive to women. And if you talk a lot in general, be mindful of the women you lost that you thought you had chemistry with, and ask yourself how much you really connected with her. The next way to repulse women is to overly talk about her. When you constantly ask her questions non-stop like it's an interrogation, it has the same effect. It's just opposite sides of the same street. You overly talking about yourself, you overly asking about her, because that does not a connection make. And anytime it is unbalanced, we women are extremely put off by it, because anything out of balance just doesn't feel right. And anytime all you're doing is talking about her, asking about her, it starts to feel uncomfortable. It starts to make us feel a lot of pressure, just like anybody in an interrogation. Unless you are somebody who absolutely loves talking about themselves. Even if this is a woman who really talks a lot, constantly talking about her is gonna turn her off. And if it doesn't, that's a girl you don't want to be with, I assure you. Now, the fifth one is something a lot of guys don't understand, because this is how most men talk to each other. And that's talking about things. I had a friend in the industry, God bless him. All he ever wanted to talk about was things, whether it was TV shows, other people, things he's done in his life. I genuinely don't remember a single personal fact about him. And he and I have probably been friends at this point for like 10, 15 years. God, I hope he doesn't see this. But after a while, I started thinking, damn it, I can't stand hanging out with him. Even though he and I both contribute to the conversation well enough, it started to really make me wonder why I couldn't bring myself to hang out with him anymore. Because if we're not talking about each other, if we're not making connections, if we're not giving our own personal input, neither one of us is putting any vested interest in the conversation. Let me explain. What's the number one thing we're all interested in? I say in so many videos. Yes, it's ourselves. So if the both of us refrain from talking about either of us and all we're talking about is things, we're not gonna have much interest in that conversation, are we? And women thrive off emotions, and the things that get us emotional are the things that are close to the heart, are the things that are personal, are the things that are about us. So if you talk about things too much like you would do with men are taught to talk about things all the fucking live long day. Y'all really thrive on it. Y'all could talk about the weather or sports or Game of Thrones all day, and you guys will become best friends off it. You guys will think that's a fantastic fucking conversation. We women, we just don't work that way. And if you over talk about things, we will really start to become annoyed with you. Number 6 is coming on too strong when there isn't a connection. So if you come on to her at all when there isn't a connection, it's gonna feel extremely out of place. And we're gonna think, where the fuck does he get off saying this shit to me? How weird, how creepy. If there's no genuine connection, we're gonna feel really creeped out. Things that are creepy are things that are out of context. Things that we should be wary of. Anytime something is out of context, our reptilian brain knows to beware. So if you come at us and you come on to us before there's a connection, we are going to beware of you. But I'll tell you how to fix that by the end of this. And the next one, the last one is when you don't come on to her at all, when there is a connection. I'll tell you right now, we women will straight up get pissed off if you don't come on to us when we do have a genuine connection. I've become so fucking mad, so angry at dudes that I've had genuine connections with who've never fucking hit on me. I'll just block them because I'm kind of embarrassed that we've had this connection, we've had these laughs, and you haven't tried hitting on me. What the fuck is the point then? Stop wasting my time. And that's how all us women feel. Like, oh my God, you got me to open up. You got me to feel like I could really open up to you and shit. And like, I would love to open up to you and shit. And you're not even trying? I must not be attractive enough. That's where we women go. And it really repulses us in a way that makes us feel kind of stupid for opening up and letting our guards down. We feel fucking stupid. If we let our guards down and you don't come barreling through to the puss. It's quite offensive, to be honest. So if you don't know how repulsed women are by you, or you want to know exactly how attractive you are to the women you want, don't forget to take my quiz right now. How attractive are you to the women you want? So you can assess where on the scale you are in regards to accidentally putting off the women you want, or to see where you lie in general and what you could do about it to become a 10 to the women you truly want for yourself. After taking this quiz, I'm going to send you the results and I'm going to tell you exactly what you could do to increase your levels if that's something you want. Who knows? Maybe you're okay where you are. But either way, assess yourself for these 7 things you might be doing to be putting off the puss. And thanks for watching as always. I'll see you guys next time.